Hey guys, it's Kat. I'm about to make an Etsy shop banner for you, and I'm going to use a whole bunch of stuff that I downloaded from the internet. So the point of this video is kind of to show you that you don't really have to have any drawing skills, and you don't really have to have any photography skills to put together a really cool Etsy shop banner. You actually don't even have to have Photoshop or Adobe Illustrator or anything like that. I'm doing all of these tutorials in a free program called GIMP that does everything you could ever need for your Etsy shop. So first things first, I downloaded this texture from the internet. I just did a search for free textures, found something that I liked that I thought would, be make a cool banner background. And I downloaded it. I opened it up in GIMP, and it is the wrong orientation. I need this to be sort of a landscape orientation so that when I crop out the banner part of it, I have more width to work with. So that's really easy to fix. I'll just go to Image, Transform, Rotate. I'm going to rotate it counterclockwise because I want this cool dot to be at the top of my banner. But whether you choose clockwise or counterclockwise will just depend on your picture or your texture that you use. You probably actually won't even have to rotate anything. Okay, so now what we have to do is crop. I'll show you really quickly. You could just scale this. You could just resize this, but it will deform your texture, and in this case it's going to squish it from top to bottom. I'll show you what I mean. If you just add, or if you just go to scale image and if you just go to scale image and type in the correct Etsy banner dimensions and click scale. See, now that doesn't look like that cool texture anymore. That looks more like, I don't know, like marble or granite or something like that, which is cool. I like this, but it's not what I wanted. I wanted that paper texture. So I'll just undo that. So to keep the texture the way it is, I'll have to crop. I'll have to actually sacrifice some of this picture to keep the texture. So I'll grab the crop tool. My tool options dialog, tool options window, is docked to the bottom of the toolbox. If yours isn't, I'll show you how to do that really quickly. Just close that. Just go to Windows, Dockable Dialogs, Tool Options. When the Tool Options window pops up, click on the title of the tool. When your when your mouse turns into a pointing hand, just click and drag into the bottom of the toolbox. And then you'll have that same window docked here. So now when you close GIMP and open it back up again, this window will be stuck to the toolbox, and you'll never have to go hunting for your tool options again. You can also do the same thing for the layers dialog, and I like to have both of these down here at the bottom of the toolbox so I never have to go hunting for them. I use these dialogs a lot, so it's nice to have them handy. Okay, so we just need to set a couple of crop tool options. I'm going to choose fixed aspect ratio, and then I'll type in 760:100 in this field down here. Make sure that the landscape button is checked, and then you can just click and drag, and you'll see it keeps like that banner style rectangle. This won't necessarily be 760 pixels by 100 pixels high, and that's because we chose aspect ratio. I just wanted to keep the correct width to height ratio. That's what an aspect ratio is. To make sure that I have enough information height-wise and width-wise in case I need to scale later. Anyway, so pick the area that you want to crop. You can adjust the crop area, you can move your mouse to the middle of the crop area, and when it turns into a four-sided arrow like this, you can just click and drag to move the crop area. If you want to resize it, move your mouse toward the edges of the crop area. You'll see these rectangles appear. You can click, those are handles, you can click and drag in those handles. And since we chose a fixed aspect ratio, for this kind of crop, the height and width will be adjusted at the same time to keep the correct height and width ratio. But if you didn't have that fixed, if you moved one of the side handles in, it would only affect the width, and if you moved one of the top or bottom handles in, it would only affect the height. So I want to use all of this, and I want to use that area up there. So once you have the exact crop area that you want to use for your background, just hit enter and it will crop. So like I said, this isn't going to be exactly 760 pixels by 100 pixels, so I need to scale this. Scaling is resizing. So first I'll make sure that this button is linked. It should be by default, but just in case it's not, it'll look like that if it's not linked, and it will look like that if it is. Make sure that it is linked. Then we'll choose 760 pixels for the width. And then because this is linked, when I put my cursor in the height dimension, it automatically updates to 100. It will, linking these two dimensions keeps them the aspect ratio that they were originally. So since I cropped to a 760 by 100, let's just call it pixel, but it wasn't pixels, area, it's going to keep the image size 760 pixels by 100 pixels. So last thing I need to do, because I'm actually making this bigger, I need to tell GIMP how to guess what kind of pixels should be in here, how to fill in the blanks basically when I make the picture bigger. So under interpolation, I'll choose cubic. There's a bunch of options here, but I think cubic is the best. And then I'll hit scale, and that makes it a little bit bigger.